Hi everybody and welcome back to another episode of Ride 2. I'm KPG-GOONER here, and in today's episode guys we're going to be testing out another bike that's been requested quite a few times. But before we get into that, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that supported this channel over the last 12 months or since the beginning. And I just want to say thank you for everyone that keeps liking the videos, leaving comments, tips. You've all been awesome. But also guys, I just wanted to say, I said to you a few episodes ago that I was going to do a video giving you a brief update on what's coming new in this year. So I'm going to be doing that very soon. But if there's anything that you would like to see on the channel, please let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate all the feedback. It really helps me to push this channel forward. I can see that the views on this series have dropped off a little bit, and I would like to pick that up. If there's some things that I could change, just let me know in the comments below. But let's get straight into the bike we're testing out today, because this one is going to be a bloody awesome one, I think. So let's get straight to it now. So here we go. Right guys, and the bike we're testing out is the YAMAHA YZF R1M. Now this bike looks awesome. Now I did race this bike on Valentino Rossi the game for the Academy, and I really enjoyed it. It is an awesome handling bike. Now this is a limited edition model boasting racing specs, so it's supposed to be better than the standard versions, but we will find out at the end of the video, because that's where the twist is going to go. And we're going to race this first against the same bikes in its category, and then we're going to test it against the other two versions of the R1 on the game and just see which one comes out on top. It is going to be an interesting video hopefully, so let's get straight into the racing. So here we go guys. Right guys, so we fully maxed out the YAMAHA YZF R1M, and look at the stats, pretty damn decent. Acceleration 9.4, braking power 9.3, top speed 9.4 and handling 9.1. So overall it's got very high stats. So I'm expecting it to be pretty damn good, but we will find out what it's like against some of the bikes in the same category, because there is some really tough ones to beat in this category. So we will find out in a race. Let's get straight into it guys, so here we go. Right guys, so we're going to race around Donington Park, a very difficult circuit to race around on the highest level, but it's going to be a really fast race, so this should be a really enjoyable one. So let's get straight into it guys. Right, so here we go with this race on the R1M. Now I haven't adjusted any of the suspension settings, so it's on the standard settings, and hopefully we should be okay. Now we're up against some really tough bikes. I think there was a BMW in this race, and that Aprilia RSV4 RF, which we absolutely love, and we know that's a very strong bike, so that's going to be difficult to beat. And we've gone into that first corner really tight onto that curb. Oh god, a bit of contact there with the BMW. Just managed to hold it there, but the BMW didn't crash out, so just a little bit of a slight contact there. So it's the Aprilia that's managed to get away, which is no surprise. We know how good that bike is, and we absolutely love that. I think we gave that a 10 out of 10 rating as well, so we definitely do like that bike, and we know it's very good around these sort of circuits. And we've managed to get into the lead. It's feeling pretty damn decent at the moment, trying to keep it nice and smooth and keep that front wheel down. It's feeling pretty strong. Now I was expecting really good things from this bike, and so far it started off really well, and it's pretty damn quick out the turn as well. So we've managed to get into the lead, but we've got that Aprilia sitting right behind us, so we're going to have to be aware of that one. Slow it down. Let's see what the brakes are like. Oh, it drops into the corners nicely. Right, that's actually quite smooth. Right, just try and slowly open the throttle to keep that front wheel down. Bobbed up a little bit, but we've managed just to slow it down and get into that corner nice and tight. That's not too bad. Hold the speed and accelerate. But again, just open that throttle slowly so we don't get loads of wheelies and bobbing up everywhere, which really slows you down. Nice and tight into that corner. So the first lap has gone absolutely to plan, and I'm absolutely loving this bike so far. It feels pretty damn good. Let's see if we can slow it down into the turn. This lap's going to be slightly quicker, so we're going to have to get... Oh god, I went a little bit too tight into that corner, but we've managed just to get away with it. So we've got an invalid lap for this one, so we're not going to get that lap time, but we've still got to try and hold off that Aprilia. I think it's sitting right behind us. Let's try and slow it down. Another mistake there, just slowed it down a little bit late, but managed to turn in okay. Right, let's just try and be nice and smooth up the hill. Let's try and be nice and tight. Try and get it right and tight onto the apex. Flip it over, slow it down, and oh god, just left the braking a little bit late there. Just went a little bit wider than I like into that turn, but it feels pretty damn good. Actually this bike feels like it's got a good overall package. It seems to be very good acceleration. Braking feels pretty strong. Handling doesn't feel too bad, considering I haven't adjusted any of the suspension settings. So far this bike is feeling very strong. Let's try and get a nice turn into here. Smooth, turn it over. Yes, that's nice and good through there as well. So far so good on the second lap. Still leading the race, but we've still got quite a few bikes sitting behind us. We're not absolutely flying away, and we've gone into that corner a little bit too hot, and we went a little bit wider than we would like, and oh god, and that front wheel's gone up again. See, this is what I mean. You've got to be so good with your throttle control when you get onto the bikes of this performance points. Oh god, I got a little bit wide into that turn, and I've gone onto the curb slightly. That's going to slow me down a bit. I'm expecting that Aprilia to get in my slipstream now. Is he going to come up the inside? No, he's not. So we managed to get into that turn on the third lap, so we managed just to hold it still. So we're still leading on this race, so we're doing okay. That's oh god, that front wheel went up again. I've got to try and avoid doing that, because that really does slow you down. And be careful on the brakes. Oh god, the back end of the bike didn't react very well, and again we've lost it, gone a slightly wider onto the curb. So it's 3 mistakes in a row there, and we've lost the lead. Now I knew that was going to happen. You can't afford to make any mistakes on this circuit, because the AI are so goddamn quick around here, so you've got to be very consistent. So we're going to have to try and fight back in these remaining laps. Have we got enough time? We know that Aprilia is very strong. Oh god, we have lost some time, so almost 0.7 of a second we've lost with those mistakes, but we've managed to get right behind the Aprilia, right in his slipstream. Right, can we get past him in the chicane, or are we going to just have to hold back? Let's just slow it down. There's no point going too mad. I don't want to lose the race here or crash out. Let's keep it nice and smooth. Right, keep the throttle nice and smooth again. I'm not absolutely just slamming, not open the throttle fully, shall I say, out of the turns, because it does wheelie up so easily on this bike. Right, that wasn't bad there. Got a nice drive out that corner. Can we get past him? No, I can't open the throttle fully again, because it's just bobbing up and down. But let's just try and stick with the Aprilia here. Oh, I've just touched the Aprilia's back wheel there, but I didn't affect him too much, and I think he's going to get a decent drive away. Yes, it's affected me more, and I've slowed down a bit, but there you go. I took a risk. I went to that corner really, really hot, but luckily I didn't crash him out. I like to be fair in these races. Right, let's try and get a nice line into there. Try and hold it. Oh, God, that front wheel's going up again. That's going to cost us a bit more time. We're going to have one hell of a finish on this lap to get the win, and we didn't turn the bike over very well there. You could see how the suspension is not reacting how I'd like, but without making adjustments you're not going to have the perfect setup. But we are really trying to push this R1M as much as we can on this last lap. Can we take the Aprilia on the last lap? We're managing to hold off the other bikes behind us, and again we've gone into that corner way too fast and went out wide, and now the front wheel's going up again. I think we're going to have to settle for second, and we have dropped almost half a second on this lap. It's not what I wanted. Unless we do something amazing in these last few corners, I think it's going to be a win for the Aprilia, and this has been a decent enough experience. But can we get him in these corners? Can we get a nice line through there, right onto the curve, flip it over? Oh, we got a good drive through there. Can we keep that front wheel down into his slipstream? Can we take him on this corner? We're going to have to be really nice and tight. Just slow it down, get nice and tight in, take a risk, dive in there, slam on the brakes, turn it, accelerate, and we've managed to get past him. Oh, what a pass that was, but we still got another corner to hold it. Is the Aprilia going to come up the inside? We're going to have to get nice and tight and avoid him getting up the inside. He's going to come up the inside. No, yes, we managed to accelerate out there, and there you go, guys. I think we're going to take a win. What a recovery. There you go. Oops. Whoops. I think I pulled back a little bit too much there, but there you go. Oh my god, that was a close race on those last sections, and I think that was our fastest lap of the race as well. But we will have a look at that. I think we managed to do a 1:30 on that last lap, but we needed that to win the race. Now, guys, we're going to get into a time trial against the other R1 versions of this bike and see which one's quicker. That's what we're going to do now, guys. We're going to get straight into that now. So here we go. Right, guys, so this is one of the other versions of the R1 from 2014, and it's the lowest performance points bike in this time trial, but it still could be a good one. We will find out. And the other version from 2015 is the same performance points as the R1M, but has different, slightly different stats. It could be very close with this one. We will find out, but you would expect the R1M to win, but we don't know. So let's get straight into the first time trial. Right, first up, guys, we're going to test out the lowest performance points bike around Donington, the short version, and let's see which one comes out on top. This could be really interesting. Let's get straight into it. Right guys, the deal with this time trial, we're going to test out all 3 bikes around this Donington Park National Circuit. We're not doing any adjustments to the suspension. They only get 2 laps. Now these laps aren't going to be the quickest because I'm not adjusting any of the suspension settings. We're just going to see which one over 2 quick fire laps is going to be the winner. Now first up is this version. Like I said, it's the lowest performance points. I'm not expecting this one to win, but it'd be interesting to see what sort of time it's going to get compared to the other 2 versions, which are superior with the stats. Now that's not bad into that corner. Now the front wheel's not going to go up as much on this one as this lacks that little bit of power, but it's still pretty damn decent, very quick. Now we did do this in a couple of time trials once before in a video, if you check through the episodes, and this one came out on top over a lot of bikes that were much higher performance points. So you just don't know in some of these versus time trials, right? We just lost it slightly in there, but it's still feeling very smooth. Even on the standard suspension settings, this bike, I do rate this version, I must admit, fully upgraded. It is a very, very decent bike. Now this is the only one of the 3 that has the twin pipes under the seat exhaust. The other 2 just have the side can, but they're all Acupovic, so it shouldn't make a lot of difference. This one just lacks a little bit of top speed, and the handling isn't as great. So that's the first lap. Let's see what time we're going to get, and we do a 107.2. Right, let's go one more lap. Like I said, we're only going to do 2 quick fire laps. So again, it's not just going to be down to my riding. It's going to be down to can I get a decent time within those 2 laps. So hopefully it should be interesting. I mean, like I say, not going to be the fastest lap times. I'm most probably be able to do much quicker if I was able to set up the suspension and I put a little bit more time into it, but we're doing it over 2 quick fire laps, so the other 2 bikes have got, they're not going to get a chance. If they don't perform in the 2 laps that I've raced round, it's tough. The one that gets the best time is going to be the winner. So let's see if we can get a nice tight line into there. Let's see if we can better that time. Oh god, just holding that bike around that corner. Just had a little bit of a moment with the back end, but managed to control it. Right, slow it down into the chicane. So this is slightly quicker than the previous lap. Let's get through there nice and smooth. Keep that front wheel down. Hold it, and I think this is going to be slightly quicker, and to the finish line. So we did a 106.8. That's okay. I'm not sure how good that's going to stand, or the other versions might just absolutely annihilate it. We're not too sure. We will find out, because it's only a short circuit, so the top end's not going to come into play. It's all going to be down to acceleration, handling, braking power. But let's get straight into trying out the next version of the R1 and see if that time stands up. So let's get straight into it, guys. So here we go. Right, guys, next up is the YZF R1 2015. This should be really interesting, so let's get straight into it. Right, let's get straight on the circuit. So it's another 2 quick fire laps, and we've got 106.8 to beat. I'm not sure how that's going to stand up against these 2, this version and the R1M, as these bikes are higher performance points. They have a lot more power. We know the top end and the handlings are much higher rated, but we will find out. So let's see if we can get a decent time on this first lap. Let's get nice and tight into that corner. We'll feeling the brake straight away, feeling the braking a lot better. Stop that into that corner really nicely. Let's get a nice turn into there, try and hold it. Oh, just pulling that back end, wanting to pull around. The suspension's just kicking up slightly there, so it's not perfectly set up for this, but then all of them on the level playing field. Like I said, not adjusting any of them, and it's just over 2 laps, so which one comes out on top is going to be very interesting. Trying to hold it through there nice and tight, stay off the curb, keep that front wheel down. That felt very smooth, so this one's feeling very, very strong. So I think this one, oh god, right onto the curb. It's dropping into the corners nicely. Let's try and get a nice turn into there, nice and smooth, keep that front wheel down. So I can already feel this one's going to be a lot quicker. We're definitely up on the time here. Let's slow it down. I'm not sure how much faster, but it feels a lot quicker. Oh god, a little bit of a moment there, just trying to keep that front wheel down, and that's got to cost us some time. So that's going to cost us. And over the finish line, we've beaten the time but we could have gone a lot quicker if we kept that front wheel down. So let's go one more lap. So we've done a 106.6. Let's see if we can slightly better that. Oh god, again that front wheel's gone up. That's going to cost us a bit of time. That's the only problem, because these bikes have got that little bit more power. It's harder to keep the front wheel down, and that does sort of cost you in these sort of trials. And that's why I don't always think the more powerful bikes are always at the top, because yeah, with the ones that don't react like that, you can get around the circuit slightly quicker. I mean, you're not bobbing around everywhere. So, but this one did beat it on its first lap, but is it going to be better than the R1M? That's what we're going to find out. Let's try and get a nice turn into there. It feels a lot quicker than the first lap. We did lose a bit of time right at the start when it started wheeling up. Hopefully we will try not to do it through this chicane. We've got to be a little bit better through here and try and be a better on the throttle as we are up on the time. Let's try and get a little bit smoother through there. Keep that front wheel down. Right, open that throttle a little bit slower. That was a little bit better there to the finish line, and yes we do. So we did a 106.050. That was about half a second quicker. I think that one will go much quicker than that. But like I said, we're just doing 2 quick fire laps to see which one comes out on top. Now, is the R1M going to beat that? That's what we're going to find out. So that's the time to beat. Let's get straight into it and see if the R1M is the top bike in this category. So here we go. Right, so here we go with the R1M. Is it going to come out on top? This is going to be really interesting. Right, is it going to beat the last version of the R1? It's going to be really close. Now, they're the same performance points, but this one has racing specs. So, is it going to be better? We are going to find out. But in that race around the full circuit of this, I found this one very solid. So I'm hoping it will come out on top, because I do rate this bike, which we're going to do at the end of the video. I'm going to do a summary on this bike. But let's see if it wins at this time trial. So we've got 2 quick fire laps, and we've gone in there a little bit hot, so we weren't as tight through that corner. But we've got 2 laps, so if we don't do it on the first lap, as long as we get a good second lap, let's see if we can beat that time. Let's just turn it over there. I felt a little bit smoother than the last version, but is it going to be quicker? Oh god, I have to put the brakes on there slightly, and again it didn't react very well there, so it's probably behind on time than the other version. I just feel like it's not as quick into that section, and we have lost a bit of time here. Looking at the time, yes, I think we're about a second or so behind the other version, so this is down on the time, so this could be down to my riding. But like I said, 2 quick fire laps, it's got to get close to that time within one of those laps. Right, let's see if we can get through this next chicane. It's got to be nice and smooth. Got to keep that front wheel down. If this is going to beat the time, let's try and slow it down. Get a nice line through there. That wasn't too bad. Flip it over. Keep that front wheel down. Oh my god, slightly onto the curb there. Not too much. Right to the finish line. And is it going to be that time? So we've just done a 106.4. So that wasn't quicker than the fastest time on the other version, but it was faster than the first lap on the other version. So we are up on that time. Let's see if we can go fast on the second lap and see if this one can push a little bit more. Let's try and get a nice turn through there, and we're up on the time, so we're 0.1 up on the time, so it's looking good at the moment. Let's flip it over, get nice and tight right on the apex there. That's nice and smooth through there. Let's try and get a nice turn and just feel our way into this this time trial and just see if we can get the fastest time on this version and flip it over. And we've gone a little bit wider into that turn. We needed to be a little bit tighter, so we're only slightly up on the time. Oh, this is going to be very, very close, guys, to that other time, and we need to go a lot quicker. So the last, I think it was a 106.050, and we're not even 0.2 up on the time. So this at the moment is not going to beat the other version. Right, and we're only 0.2 up. So, oh my god, this is going to be close. I'm not sure whether this one's going to come out top. Keep that front wheel down. That's got to slow it down. And I don't think it's going to do it, guys. Right to the finish line. And has it done it? I think it's only just done it. Oh, my God. That couldn't have been closer. I think it's only done it by the most minimal amount of time. Now, the other one got to 106.050. And this one's done it in 106.033. So only just, guys. That's a small margin. I know this one could probably go quicker after a few laps, but on the quick fire laps it only just won, guys. Now we're going to get into a summary after testing this bike out in today's video, and I'm going to give it an overall rating out of 10. So let's get straight into it now, guys. So here we go. Right guys, I'm just going to give you a brief summary of the R1M. Now I absolutely love this bike and I really enjoyed the experience today. This is strong in all areas, and I think with the setup this will be a very, very hard bike to beat in time trials, in races online. A very, very good bike. I'm going to give this quite a decent rating. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. A very, very good bike, and I think it's a must to have in your garage, and definitely over the other two versions. So spend the money guys, get it in your garage, and I will see you very, very soon guys. Bye bye.